is an increase in information overload. And so I think the number one thing that AI is going to be able to do for us is reduce the information overload in our lives. Yes, everyone is posting content, and every point of view has a million sub-points of view and a million nuances, and we can't keep up with it. In the news, there's always a new news story in the globe. So AI is able to distill information for us, to give us the bullet points that are most relevant to us. So we no longer have to be the researcher of our information, but we can use AI just as a personal assistant to distill the most practical, useful information to us. So it's going to take a massive load off our brains. And I think indirectly what it'll do is make us less anxious, less anxiety provoked, less angry. Because guess what? When an AI is giving you practical information, it is not trying to make you angry and upset and to constantly use the AI. Rather, that's what the internet has been doing. That's what YouTube, Instagram, social media has been doing. Because their profit model is to make money when we're on the site. And as I've been noticing, that is not the model of AI companies right now. But there is a asterisk that I'll get to in a second. But the one thing that I do want to mention, obviously, you want to have a healthy amount of skepticism. Don't only get your information from what AI is giving you. Take some time to actually look at the sources. If you're only reading the AI Spark Notes of the latest news, who knows if you're missing something that, maybe if it's curated to you, you wouldn't have clicked on it, but you're clicking on it because it's not curated. You're clicking on it because you wouldn't normally click on it. So I hope that makes sense, because I think AI, it will be great at predicting our behavior and making it easier for us, but we have to go out of our ways to get out of our comfort zone, to do stuff that is out of our normal habit routine. So there's a balance there. But I think on the whole, it will reduce information overload. The second thing, I think that especially if we look, maybe 3 or 5 years down the line, there's going to be an expansion in human potential. And so what do I mean by that? Essentially, as we get more comfortable using AI as a sort of back and forth tool, that our vision for creative projects, for entrepreneurial endeavors will grow with the AI. So in some ways, it's going to democratize the ability to create an outstanding e-commerce company. And when that happens, we're going to see a flood of a ton of different companies. And it's going to be information overload, but instead of information, it's going to be, product overload, which is still information. But what I'm saying there is when everyone gets the tool of AI and can use it for whatever they see fit, that it's no longer about who has the greatest skill. It's like, okay, I'm not great at drawing, but I know how to use AI and I know how to use image generators to get the exact image I'm looking for. In a situation like that, whoever has the greatest vision wins. And that transitions really well into number 3, which is that I think we're going to see an explosion in the creator and visionary economy. And so again, I talk about content creators on here all the time. I definitely think there's a power law effect where, the biggest podcasts, the biggest YouTubers, they reap all the rewards, and the little guys just trying to make content, getting, a couple hundred views on videos, probably not going to monetize this, and it's probably not going to be my full-time thing. However, in the future, I think that a focus on creating experiences, whether that is VR worlds, whether that is, books, art projects, I think that's going to become a lot more common as a way to make money. Because we're already starting to see now, it's very, very easy to create a digital product. There are tons of software companies that allow you to, put that on a very beautiful website. But I think that's just going to continue to increase. So the reason I say that is because if you're someone who is fearful that your job is going to be replaced by AI, like say you're a content writer at a marketing agency, that I think you should devote some of your time to thinking about creating products people can pay for, if you haven't already started doing that. I think things like Patreon, whatever the buy me a coffee thing is, community-focused digital companies are going to be a huge player in the regular person's income. So really take that one to heart. If you enjoyed that clip, I just have 3 things I want you to do. The first thing is hit subscribe, follow the channel for new content. Second thing, go and watch the full episode. If you like this clip, you're probably going to enjoy what I talk about in the entire podcast. And the third thing, which I think is the most important, go and buy my new book, Off With His Head. It's on Amazon right now. Not only is it the best way to support this channel and the content I'm making, but I truly believe that it is a foundational book, something that can provide you existential security in an increasingly polarized and radicalized and chaotic world. This is a book of hope for people who are stuck living with a cynical worldview. We are living at a time where our rational mind is actually short-circuiting because of all the information overload we're receiving. We need more silence and stillness, not more information. Wisdom comes from the gap between thoughts, the gap between sounds, the gap between the news. And that is what I want to convey in this book. So if that sounds appealing to you, then go right now, click the Amazon link, go and buy that book. You will thank yourself later.